I think this is a perfect formula for making a shot heard around the world.
I don't really know exactly, guys, if you really understand that huge favor that you give us, and then you teach people how to build an airship. My own water, my own electricity, my own food, and build the house with less money. This is all we need, and then now we can share it. It's a treasure.
As per the floor plan, the thermal wrap and the tires go up at the same time with the back bearing. It's a process that goes up one tire at a time, providing the thermal wrap and burial support for the tires as they go up, again following the floor plan. The cisterns go in at this point in the appropriate place, and rebar pins go in to anchor the bond beam, which is formed by aluminum cans, to the tire work. The birdcage steel goes in at the same time, anchored into the bond beam itself. The birdcage is a form for a ferrocement vaulted roof structure. Here you can see how it is anchored into the bond beam with the steel. It is set up to receive several coats of plaster and be a ferrocement dome. The little footing across the front will take some framing as per the architectural drawings, non-bearing framing, just filling in for glass and a door. The vaults are then plastered, and the first coat of plaster usually has some fiber in it to make it so it doesn't go through the mesh that is inserted underneath the rebar. And like I say, 3 or 4 coats of plaster gives us a ferrocement dome that's very safe, very lightweight. Next we would be looking at the masonry work of aluminum cans going up around the vaults with a batter slightly leaning in, and a wrap of insulation, and then filled with dirt for a very simple thermal roof detail that will allow us a plane of earth on which to pour a slab that will give us a basic slab roof. We usually put insulation down there depending on the climate before we pour the slab. The slab then will drain into the cisterns. This is using bottle or can masonry to form up for the dirt. We usually put a vapor barrier in right after the insulation as well under the slab. And then we bring the same detail around the little vaults, cap the thermal wrap, and bring the earth up for the final burial. And there's the gutter going into the cistern. Now we have the cisterns being wrapped in insulation and the final burial and shaping of earth going on to wrap the building. The front face greenhouse carpentry goes in, and the insulation on top of the greenhouse, the metal flashing, the place for the panels is delineated and they're installed. The operable gravity skylight is installed, and the building is essentially put together. At this point, we insulate the tire work in front of the greenhouse, put metal over it, bring up a burial there to snug the building in, and we are looking at the basic structure being done. Then planting goes in the botanical cells and landscaping, and we end up with a simple survival model earthship. Now we're looking inside the room, out toward the botanical cells, which are planted as soon as possible. So this is the overview of the building. Now we're looking at doing replications, as it is possible to do this in 2 U's, 3 U's, 4 U's, however many you want. The same process is applied to make a full-on home, as many rooms as you want. Taking this basic model and turning it into quite a large home if necessary. It is a very simple set of details to put together, to replicate several times over and make a proven Earthship with all systems working.